experience is the experiment.
Today's guest is an artist from Wisconsin who has since made her way out to Los Angeles, California. She has seen huge success on the stage, touring the world with artists like Troye Sivan, Kim Petras, Yungblud, and many, many more. Please welcome today's guest, Carlie Hanson.
Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome. I'm so glad we finally got to do this.
We've been trying to do this for like 8 years, it feels like, and
since I started it a year and a half ago, literally.
also congrats. That's
Thank
so
you.
sick.
I appreciate it.
That's so sick.
Welcome, Carlie Hanson.
Thank you very much.
How have you been?
I've been good. I have been prepping for this tour that I'm about to go on. Actually, I haven't even done any rehearsals yet. We're starting tomorrow, but I've been like prepping my mindset.
Mentally prepping.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm playing with a whole new band, which is going to be weird, but very exciting. And
Who's in the band?
so there's 3 new people, John, Kaz, and Matt. And so there's 3 people behind me, which is much different than, well, not much different. It's 1 extra person than I've usually had. But yeah, there's going to be a guitarist, bassist, and drummer behind me. Usually I would play bass, and then I'd have a guitarist and a drummer.
Oh, you played bass on stage?
I did for a few songs, not like every song, but yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I think the new music really calls for a bigger band, and it's like, yeah, it's really exciting.
Is this your first headlining tour?
This is my first headlining tour in North America. I did like a small Europe headline back in like 2019, I think, but yeah.
That's so insane. That's like when you're growing up and you're thinking about being an artist and what it means. I feel like the most appealing, the most sexy part of the whole thing is like going on tour, going to see the world, going to stop by place just for a day, give them everything you have, and then wake up in the next place. And it's just
that's
cooler?
my favorite part of it, for sure. Like, that's why I really struggled during the pandemic, because I lost the part of what we do. Like, that's the most exciting part for me, is being on stage and connecting with the fans in real life, and not just like on social media, which is great, but I love to like really be there in the moment with seeing the people that listen to the music and hearing their stories and how they relate to it. And on top of that, you get to travel and you get to see all these new places, and it's crazy. Artists are so spoiled. Like,
so spoiled.
It's insane. But
also it's like, to be spoiled in this industry, you also have to go through some crazy lows, and like everything is accentuated. Everything that compares to the normal world, the normal life, is just magnified extremely.
Yeah.
And that's the highs, that's the lows, that's the excitement of touring, and that's the hard parts of touring. You also have to be mentally strong and physically strong and able to go live in a bus or live in a van or whatever it is.
It's true. I've been hitting the gym recently, so trying to get back on track for the stage. Also, this tour we're doing in like a Sprinter van, and there's a bunch of beds in the van. So we're gonna be literally, we'll stay at some hotels, but for the most part we're gonna be sleeping in this van. And honestly, I'm down for that shit. I haven't done that in the past, like sleep on the van or anything, but I'm really down to just like slum it out and just get down and dirty with it.
That's like one of the most exciting parts, is like this, you have this shared experience with your band, and at the end of it you guys are the only ones who understand that trip. And
it's so weird.
It's really weird. I mean, you're literally just going camping with a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And then going on a stage where people are spending days and days at work just for this moment. And you were like popping out of a van and then popping right back into a van after. It's weird.
It is really weird. And the show is like an hour. Like, well, yeah. And then the majority of the tour, you're just in this van, and you're stinking it up, and you're fucking eating Cheetos, and it's so weird. That's what my tour looks like anyway.
As it should. And you've had the other side of it. You've done some pretty big tours off the bat.
I did have a more like glamorous experience when I was opening for Yungblud. We got to like share this big tour bus, and I got to have my own little bunk, and that really felt like a rock star moment when we were on that bus. It's like everything you see in the movies or in the documentaries. That was really cool, and we just would like play the show, get in our bunks, go to bed, wake up, and it was already like 2 p.m. and you have to go to sound check, and then so. Well,
it's got to be cool though, having this experience. Like, there's a lot of people who when they have that experience too soon, they get jaded and they can't enjoy the parts of it that are normal to the come up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Before that, I had done like the van tour and shit, so I've seen both sides of it. And honestly, I really don't even care that I'm kind of going backwards a bit and I'm like sleeping in a Sprinter van. I really like, I'm just here to get on stage and play the music and like connect with the fans. And that's insane that that's what my job is. Like that's,
it's nuts.
It's crazy. So.
Well, and I don't even think it's going back. I think it's just, you had the opportunity, a deserved opportunity, but the opportunity to go and get a little taste of what it's going to be like eventually. True. Now you have this idea of what it feels like, and now you get to work towards it, and you get to enjoy every step. And when you're there, and some whatever 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid is touring with you and gets to have that experience, you get to show them the ropes.
Yeah. I guess I kind of am doing that with this tour. I think Sophie Powers, who's opening for me, I think she's 18 maybe. So it'll be really interesting. I haven't met her yet in person, but it'll be funny to kind of like have that conversation where like, I was in your shoes a few years ago.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So how did you find all these openers?
Actually, a lot of it came through my new management, Madden. They were really helpful with like showing me a bunch of artists that they thought were cool and I thought were cool, and then we kind of like came to a head and chose them. They're all really, really good. Senses, Sophie Powers, Halo Boy, and then also on top of that, I'm going to be having local artists opening too for the shows.
Sick.
So we were talking about it in the beginning, and I really just wanted to do that because, like, and I was saying this online and shit already, but coming from small town Wisconsin, I really didn't have many opportunities growing up to, like, showcase my talent.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a really cool opportunity to give local artists who want to play their music but don't really have, a lot to do that. So,
that mentality is such a key part to making this industry feasible, but also emotionally feasible, and for you and others. And it's so interesting because your name pops up on this podcast all the time. We have so many mutual friends, and there's so many people out there who adore you, including Tosh, who was just on.
I love that man.
I mean, he talks about you. If I didn't know who you were, I would think you guys were like sister and brother, like the way he talks about you.
Yeah, I think we are long lost related relatives.
He's the man. And his dad, Stoner?
Stoner. Honestly,
he's the man.
I watched the whole interview that you guys did, which was amazing. Also, just in general, that kid, like, if I had not met him so early on and I just like knew him from afar, I'd be like, I don't know, I've seen him up close and personal, so that I know who he really is, but he's so fucking talented and he's so hardworking, and his mindset is literally just on one thing, and I find that so inspiring. Yeah. And to a certain extent, I've felt that same passion, but he has this like weird, like, he is like no other. Like, I really look up to him, even though I'm older.
I feel I'm even older than both of you, and I look up to him.
Thank you.
And I feel like that you guys share this similar mentality, which is the reason both your names are brought up all the time. Obviously, you guys are brought up as talented people. You got here for a reason. But you're brought up because people, when they're around you, they feel better. They feel more comfortable. They feel like they're helped. Like there's somebody there who doesn't just care for themselves. And I think at the end of the day, that's why your name gets said. You hit a threshold of talent that you need to sustain the level you two are at in this industry. And then from there, you have to be a fucking good person.
Thank you. Also, thank you. And I totally agree. I think like, yeah, I think you really said it yourself. Like, I just, at the end of the day, I'm always just being myself. And I think like me and Tosh come from really good families. And I think that has a lot to do with why we are the way we are, is because we have really good people around us, and we were able to like realize what matters, and not like get our heads stuck in like a weird place of things that don't really matter. And I think that really has a lot to do with it, just like surrounding ourselves with good people, and yeah, and I think that's why we connected so well. And also I want to shout out Ryan, my guitarist, or I'm not playing with him this tour, but we've been playing for as long as I've been doing this, and they both really just like, I love them so much. I'm so blessed that I got to meet them and connect with them. And that's the beautiful thing about this industry, is like, it's like a blessing and a curse how personal it can get. But when you meet the right people, like it's so wonderful to like connect over music and play with each other live, or just be in a session with your friends. It's like, it's unlike any other thing that I've ever experienced in my life.
It's addicting. It's got like this weird quality where when you find one really good person in this industry that makes you want to work harder, that's rooting you on, that's there for you outside of the music, it makes you want to find more and more and more, because it's just I think we all grew up looking for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just built into the zeitgeist. It's built into the core product that is being in this industry. Is it's somebody who had trouble or needed a way to express themselves, probably growing up, and grew up into this world where they found more and more ways to do that, and this is how they hone it in. And when you find a bunch of people that want to work hard, like Tosh was saying, he practices for like 10 hours.
Yeah,
he meant it. That's the insane part. A lot of people will say it, but he means it.
No, he fully means it, and it's amazing. It's really incredible. He really is super inspiring. And yeah, like when I was growing up in middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, like all I wanted to do, whether it was after school, before school, whatever, I just wanted to sing, and I just annoyed the hell out of my family. And all I wanted to do was sing covers or write my own music over like fucking SoundCloud beats or whatever the fuck it was. But yeah, I think going back to what you said about just kind of like, where are you from again? Sorry?
Detroit.
Okay,
right outside.
Right. True. So that's probably pretty similar to like La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I went to camp in Maguanago.
Oh, that's right. We talked about this.
So I know the cornfields.
See, everybody goes to fucking camp in
Wisconsin,
in the weird name of Wisconsin.
The very Midwestern sounding cities.
Yeah, like Maconomowoc, like, or what? I don't know. Is that a real city? But anyways, but yeah. Anyways, but yeah, just like growing up in that kind of atmosphere, I think it was really easy for me to kind of fall into an addiction, like singing or songwriting or playing guitar or whatever it was, because there was nothing else to do, especially when it was like the winter and nobody wanted to step foot outside. So you're just like, and I grew up in the time of the internet, YouTube and all that. So like literally all I wanted to do was just watch music videos or watch Justin Bieber sing. Yeah.
The dichotomy of living in the Midwest, I think, is like one of the most useful things you can grow up with.
Yeah, it's like, true.
Understanding that half the year to take out your trash, it's going to fucking suck.
Yeah.
And half the year it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And understanding that, like, that brutal fucking honesty of nature, but also like living in a place that's so quaint and beautiful and I don't know, I think it's really humbling. I think it's different than like a Portland where it's predominantly dark and rainy. Yeah,
that's like, true.
You have time to like be depressed and then you have time to think about it.
Yeah, that's true. Although like there are some shitty moments like with winter or whatever and taking the trash out. On the way here, me and Sam were like talking about how beautiful it is where we're from, and like when I first moved here, I thought California was like this beautiful magical thing, and it is to a certain extent, but there's a different kind of beauty about the town that I'm from, and I really do miss it. And not to segue into my album or anything, but that's like why I feel like I wrote all these new songs, like I really just, although I grew up like, especially in high school, wanting to leave where I was from, now that I've stepped out of it and lived in LA for so long, I can really appreciate where I grew up, and I really am the person that I am because of what I was surrounded by, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that now. But growing up, I was so like, I hate it here, and this isn't me. I want to live in New York or whatever it was. But yeah, so that's why I think I found myself with all these newer songs just writing about home, because I really did miss it so much.
So the new album is about your time growing up in Wisconsin?
It's more so about, well, yeah, a little bit. It's like reminiscent of all of the things that I experienced growing up. Yeah, like 608, the first single off this new album. The album's called Wisconsin. It really is just me talking about the imagery and like just being in my friend's car and driving around aimlessly, just smoking weed, and like that's the kind of shit that I miss, because it's all, you know, those moments are really nostalgic, and I find myself all the time just here in LA missing those memories, because, you know, I'm doing other things now.
There's a camaraderie that's built around living somewhere where there's not too much to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's like this feeling of like you were saying, I have so many core memories that are just me and my friends cruising, going absolutely nowhere for no reason, stopping at 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee and getting high on the way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have that in the same way here. I mean, obviously, everything's here. There's a version of everything, but it's different. There's this feeling of like jokes between your friends are so prominent in places like that, because that's what you have to do. Especially when we were growing up, and not every kid had a phone, and there wasn't TikTok, and there wasn't all of that. Like,
yeah,
you just hang out, you experience life, you enjoy each other, and it's easier to take it for granted. But then retrospect is the killer of all bullshit when you're 10 steps away.
It is. So yeah, 1000%. Like, that's why I wanted to write this album, is because I really, for the longest time, I was just like, why am I even here? Why am I in this city? I could do this from home type thing. Like, I miss my friends, I miss my family, but I also have to remember, like, if I did go back and I was back in Wisconsin, and I was trying, like, it
Grass is always greener.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it really is. So, but I am so lucky, and I have to remember, like, I'm here for a reason, and it's good to miss those things, but like, this is, I'm gonna achieve my dreams, and I'm gonna keep pushing forward. But yeah,
and you're the right person to build that same mentality that you had out there that you loved. You were the right person to build that out here, and like, that's something that everybody's like, I want to get out of LA because I want this feeling. It's like, why don't you just work to bring that feeling here? Like, if you love it that much, find people that give you that same feeling here.
Yeah.
Make your life revolve around how you can have that same feeling of happiness wherever you are.
Yeah, that's true. How long have you been here?
6 years.
Okay, I've been here like almost 5 years. So
Crazy.
That's like pretty much the same amount of time. How have you found it, like, meeting new people out here and like making new connections? Like, have you had an easy time with it? Do you think it's like hard to like make connections out here, or what's your experience with it?
Yes and no. I think here you're going to have, for every person that you have back at home, there's 100 of them here. So there's more to sift through, but that means there's also more to find. I'd say my first 4 years were full of, I had like my core little group of friends from school out here who I loved, but now there's only one of them left here. I still love them and they're friends, but they don't live here anymore. It's just Akash, who I live with.
Yeah.
And obviously Elle. But I would say it took until the past 2 years to find the people.
Yeah.
Like about the time that I started this podcast, a little bit before, like when I met Noah, when I met you guys, like having the people that I could sit at the fire, and like we didn't have to play music in order to connect.
Yeah.
I think I fall back on that a lot. That's when I'm the most comfortable. But sometimes being the most comfortable isn't going to have the best conversation.
Yeah,
you
that's
need to kind of
true.
sit in the uncomfort. But
Yeah.
then like meeting you guys and letting my shoulders drop and like that was it. And it took
Yeah.
me 5 years to find those people. Now I know the people that are going to stand at my wedding and hold my kid, and
So sweet.
it's crazy how it works. What about you? Do you feel like did you guys come out here together?
No, so I came out here like fresh out of high school when I was like 17. Graduated high school early, and then I came here.
Were you homeschooled?
No, I did all the years of all the normal school, but then I like right at the end I graduated early because I like knew I was gonna come here.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what happened. I have really bad memory. But anyway, yeah, so wait, what was the question? Oh, she moved out here like almost 2 years ago.
Real for everybody who can't see, which is I guess everybody. Sam.
Samantha, my partner in crime, my lover, my soulmate.
Badass designer.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to Fish Clothing. If you guys need any styling done, just hit her up.
Pick it up.
Anywho, enough about her. Just kidding, love you. So I've been out here almost 5 years, but she came out here like almost 2 years ago, and she came out here just for me. Can you believe that?
I love it.
There's a song on my album, my next album, called Fish Out of Water. And yeah, I'm just gonna say that.
Who could it be about?
Who could it be? But that's one of my favorites. Anyways.
So I know you're kind of far away and you're not on a microphone. Are you happy you're out here? Did you find the community that you wanted out here?
I think we kind of found a little group that we're comfortable with.
A little group.
Yeah. I think that's what you need out here. You find that little group, and there's going to be ways it'll grow and people that'll come in and out, but you have that core little group that like the people that are always good.
Yeah.
The Jakeys of the world.
The Jakeys, shout out Jakey. Jakey.
He's the best.
I met Jake during the pandemic, and that's wrong. I met him before the pandemic, but then we lived together during the pandemic, which was a wild time. But yeah, he is a very good friend of mine, very talented songwriter, artist. Fuck, my mind was gonna go. So I'm really bad at. I haven't done I guess I did one podcast recently, but just forgive me if I'm the
nice thing is this isn't an interview. This is just
true. It's
just
a conversation. But
so when did you meet Noah and that crew?
I'm so bad with timeline. 2 years ago, before you moved here. So probably a little over 2 years ago, which is fucked. When I did this, I did a song with them. They asked me to be on one of their songs called Part of You.
I remember that.
Which I love that song. And then we shot a little music video for it, a little outside of LA, which I love. And I got hooked up with them through a songwriter named Mick Coogan who wrote Part of You and then hit me up about it. And it got arranged like that. But usually I wouldn't care for that. I would like to meet someone and then form a connection and then we make something. That's usually how I'd go about it. But I love the song so much, so I was like,
it's such a good song.
I'm gonna do this. But
I didn't realize you guys didn't know each other that long by the time I met you.
Yeah, no. We were just we did the song, did the video, and then we just continued hanging out after that.
When was that party at your manager's where I met Tosh?
So that was when my last album, Tough Boy, came out, which was
a year and a half ago.
That's
crazy.
Really weird. Time goes by so fast. It's fucked.
That's so wild.
And I feel that's really weird. And I feel so I feel like that's not even me anymore, which is so weird. I feel like I've been jumping through. Well, that's not true. That was me, but I feel like I've just gone so somewhere else since then.
How could you be the same exact person? I feel like that'd be kind of sad.
That's
if you don't find room to throw shit out that you don't need anymore and grab new shit, and it's like the best thing in the world is getting rid of half your clothes so you can buy more.
That's very true. Yeah, it's crazy how much different I feel. Like right before that album came out, I like shaved my head and I felt like I was going through like a bit of a, not an identity crisis, but somewhat. Like I felt so lost and I felt like that's what I had to do in order to like find myself at that time. And now I feel like so much more myself than I ever have felt.
I remember seeing you first release the cover of the album of Wisconsin.
Yes.
And I remember seeing it and being like, that's the Carlie I know.
Oh,
which was
fuck
really
yeah.
cool.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's what I hope people think when they hear all this new music and when they see all the visuals and stuff. I've had so much fun like going home to Wisconsin to shoot most of the music videos. Actually, yeah, all of the music videos have been shot there, which as they should. I mean,
yeah.
Album's called Wisconsin. But yeah, I just feel more myself than I ever have, and I'm so happy about that because for like a while I didn't feel like I didn't know myself, but I was just kind of like, I don't know, like feeling like a normal 21-year-old, like battling with like
21-year-old
20 or 21, whatever age I was. But yeah, just like, what did you feel like when you were 20 years old or 21 or?
It's been so long, but I'd say that was when I moved out here.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally when I moved out here. So yeah, because I'm 27 as of a few days ago. I'm getting old.
Oh my God, fuck. Happy late birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm old as shit.
27?
27.
Shit.
Yeah. I'm
the
getting
age.
There. But I remember moving out here, I was so lost. I didn't know how to fucking make music, but I thought I was the best. I had so much that I was not ready for, but that I was about to fall into and have to learn real quick. And it's so interesting to see people who are ready for it. And like seeing you, seeing Tosh, seeing all these people who I look up to come into the same place that I was at, but so much more ready. It's really inspiring to see in it. Hopefully there's people out there who get that and are like, there's things that I can do to further my career now. I don't have to wait. And whether that's going and taking vocal lessons, whether that's hitting up 100 people to get into a single room, whatever it is, like there are things that you could do that I didn't know, I didn't understand. That's probably part of the reason I do this. It's because I want there to be less kids who have to not know anything when they first get out here.
Yeah.
But I guess that's also just part of the experience.
Yeah. I really love that you're doing this, by the way.
Thank you.
What made you like, I guess you kind of just said it, but what like sparked you doing this?
During COVID, I like call my friends like every day, like random friends. That's how my family grew up. Like you call your grandparents every day, you call your parents every day, you call your aunts and uncles once a week. Like that's just what you do. And one day Elle was like, why don't you just record some of these conversations? She's like, you clearly like to talk a lot. And she's like, you're obsessed with this. You're legitimately obsessed. And
you're just obsessed with talking on the phone.
Talking, but also I'm obsessed with musicians. It was always musicians, and it was always about music stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with people that do everything in their power to make something happen, that are obsessed with something themselves.
Yeah.
And to get to where you are in this industry, you can't not be obsessed. You have to.
It's very true. It's very true. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
But yeah, I am very obsessed. Like I will not stop until, actually I don't even know until what. I don't even know what my end goal is. All I know is I just love making music. I love making music, and like there's just like something inside of me that needs to sing and that needs to play and that needs to like just create something all the time. Like I wish I could say that I make music for like other people, but it's just because like I get so like there's like this force inside me that's just like I need to be like, I feel bad for Sam when she like lives with me because I just like nonstop sing and like I don't know, it's really weird, and I wonder like what triggered that growing up, or like I wonder if something triggered it or if it was just instinctually like inside me and I just like was gonna.
Do you have music in your family?
Yeah, like my older brothers, they both they would like play and they would both write and sing, but my parents, no, they can't sing, but like music was always playing and shit. Like we'd go on like long car rides and my mom would like play a bunch of shit, like a bunch of like hard rock, and then my older sister would play a bunch of like Avril Lavigne or like Breaking Benjamin and like
Hell yeah.
Evanescence and a bunch of other shit. I'm blanking, but so I like grew up around a lot of different kind of music. So I guess it was probably bound. I was probably bound to get into something musically.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of people who have that as an option in their life. It's just the people that have that little thing that doesn't let them let go of it anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's like being a junkie. Like you just
It
can't
is.
get enough. And again, that comes with the crazy highs and the crazy lows. But
Do you find that you like are like addicted to other things? Like is it just like a part of your personality, or is it just like one?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. I agree. I become upset. Like if I like something, I'm gonna like it to the fullest. I'm gonna fucking love it. I'm gonna fucking eat it.
and you just that's all you do, and that's all you look at. And
Yeah.
it's I think it's the same reason that like a lot of artists dress very accentuated to the way they dress. Like whether it's a normal way they dress, but then they just go for it, or if it's a Tosh the drummer who has the crazy colored hair, no shirt, and the whole thing.
Yeah. It's just obsessive.
Yeah, it's when you start something, it's hard to stop. And that's why people like us have to be pretty specific on what we're paying attention to, or else we'll get fucking thrown into the ether.
Yeah. It's really cool. I love it. Who are like some of your favorite artists that you're obsessed with right now, other than me?
Well, you're number one, of course. I'm a big fan of Johnny.
Like Johnny?
Johnny, yeah.
Like Johnny. I know Johnny.
Like
I don't
Ahmad's
know.
Johnny.
Right. I
Big
know of
fan.
John.
I'm trying to get him on right now. If you're listening to this,
I'm trying to do a
Answer.
song with John.
I-
Let's all do a
I
sesh.
would love that.
Let's do a sesh.
I'm a really big fan of his. I'm a big fan of this girl, Attaboy. She's so sick.
Definitely know the name.
Fuck, there's this other band that I've been listening to a lot. Fuck. One sec, I gotta pull it up. I have to say their name. I have to say their name.
Also, I'm taking this lovely lady home.
She is all yours.
Bye, Sam.
Ezra Bell. Big fan of Ezra Bell
Let
right
me
now.
see.
He's got, hopefully I don't get demonetized for this, but
Who was the guy? What was his name? Where does he live? I bet you been to his place.
just such a beautiful voice.
Sounds very nice.
One of my favorite artists in the world right now is Mikey Ferrari.
Mikey Ferrari.
Mikey Ferrari. He's also one of my best friends. but-
Okay. Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay, so one night, here's a funny story. One night, no, it was literally
at my show.
What the fuck? No, but also we saw him play at a hotel cafe.
Were we at
Right?
the same one?
Right after.
No, it was before, wasn't it? Anyways, timeline wise, yeah, it was before. We saw him play Hotel Cafe. I shit my pants.
Yeah.
And then we saw him at your show.
Yeah.
And I was like somewhat of drunk, or a little bit, or a lot. A lot of it.
You came up to me, you said, you came up to me, you go, get me in a session with that man. And he
Yeah.
was so excited to meet you too.
Yeah, I adore him. I adore his voice, his lyrics, everything about him. I am just terrible, as you know, with like planning and
Aren't we all?
yeah. So I've been very shit at like trying to hook something up, but I really would love to make something with him.
He is one of the most amazing people I know. One of the best songwriters I know. One of the greatest live performers that I've ever seen in my life.
I was blown away both times. So
Yeah, he's insane. And he if there's anybody who I had to say put him in that similar category as you, to where they're obsessed with the real person, they're obsessed with being honest, and they're obsessed with this kind of feeling of where they come from. I mean, him and Montana are like you in Wisconsin.
yeah, I definitely get that. I mean, you can just tell when somebody is speaking from experience or speaking from that place, you know?
yeah.
So yeah, I really loved seeing him live. So
Yeah,
shout out Mikey.
he's the best. He's the absolute best. Who are you digging right now?
Oh, so honestly, funny enough, I haven't been listening to a lot of music currently. On like long drives, I'll turn on this podcast called Heart Shaped Pod.
Heart-shaped.
So it's basically these two comedians, sometimes three comedians, and they are all huge Nirvana fans. And there's like 20 some episodes, and they just like go over like the history of Nirvana, and it's just like nerdy Nirvana shit.
That's so sick.
If you're a fan of Nirvana,
Who are the comedians?
and I'm terrible with names, but it's like Andy something and Travis Clark is one of them, and Andy something. Sorry.
We'll look him up.
Don't
I'll look him up after.
don't do this to me. But they're really funny, and it's just a really good pod. I just like, you know,
Comedy podcasts are 99% what I listen to.
they make like the serious shit less serious and lighter because they're making it funny, and it's so good. And I've listened to like every single episode. They're really good. So
It's such a
I
good way
recommend.
to digest information when it comes in the form of laughter.
yeah, like
best. It's the
even
fucking best.
like true crime or like murder shit. Like I love when they like laugh about it, so we're all not like crying together. Or, like
I can't do that true crime shit.
No?
I believe it too much.
I mean,
it's true, so I guess it's good to believe it.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous of it.
yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's not. Yeah, it gets queasy after a while, but yeah.
I like getting high in mushrooms too much to be listening to true crime.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't miss
Yeah.
or mix. Gosh, well, first of all, I'm so happy you are here and we got
Thank
to
you
do
very
this.
much.
And
Thank you.
You have an
And
open invite, so let's do
Thank you.
many, many more of these.
I would love to.
Oh, real fast. Sam, who's your favorite band right now or artist?
Oh, I know.
Now,
I know off the top of my head. For you.
I've been besides Mac.
Oh,
Mac Miller.
of course. Well, Max the GOAT.
I don't know right now.
Dream Ivory.
Yeah,
Dream Ivory.
and they're coming to LA March 8th.
Coming to LA March
Right
8th.
after her birthday.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah,
Maybe are they pretty big?
they're not.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hit them up. Maybe we can give them on the podcast while they're here.
Yo. Oh, wait. Before we go, you should have my boys, Brevin Kim,
Brevin Kim.
on your podcast.
Let's do it.
They would be great.
All right, let's
They'd
do
be
it.
great,
Will you
so-
connect us?
I will.
Then it's on. It's on. I trust you on that one. Well, Carlie Hanson, I love you. I appreciate
I love you.
I'm
Thank you.
so excited for this tour for you, for this album, and for the fact that you feel so good and happy about all this. That makes me happy.
Thank you very much.
You're the best. Everybody
You are.
go stream up her music. She's got so much for you. Go book her. Go book her. Go buy her
book
tickets.
Me. Go book me.
Go
Go
buy
boogers.
Go boogers tickets on on
My
this tour.
website.
On her. Where can they find you? Where's all the info?
So you can find some tickets to my show at carliehanson.com. See you there.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you for listening. Thank you, Carlie, and to everybody out there.
I am Carlie Hanson, and this is an experiment.
Fuck yeah.
Ow!
The experience is the experiment.